Hot con, hot con, hot con.
Please welcome to the pod, Tauni, and I hope you like it. Yay, season 2, here we go. Tauni Western, welcome to Hot CONT.
I'm back, baby.
Welcome back.
Did you miss me?
I did.
Yeah.
1 week apart.
Yeah. Too long.
Too long.
We talked every day, though.
It's true. Okay, so everyone, welcome to the pod, Tauni. She was here last week, but unfortunately none of you know that because I was a ding-dong and didn't hit record on the most wonderful conversation that we had. And I've been in an actual depression ever since.
Oh my God. That explains your shopping spree this week.
Yes, I've been shopping to placate the sadness. And it worked, but I'm so grateful that I've had such a big mistake with someone who is so generous because that was a humbling moment for me. And I don't like making mistakes I don't like making mistakes, period, but I don't like making mistakes when it affects somebody else. I'm such a codependent person that my main concern was that I let you down, took up your time, wasted our time. That beautiful conversation went nowhere into the ether. It just disappeared, which was sad because it was so good. And I was like, damn it. All of that just put me into a black hole.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. It happens to the best of us. It's very relatable from my friends who I spoke to about just having technical difficulties. I was like, we had some technical difficulties.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's happened to me before too. I think just not with the podcast, but this whole first season of the podcast was a trial and error. And like I said with you last week, there was multiple episodes that did come out that had a lot of audio issues.
Sure.
Up front and behind. And as I say that, I'm like, are you recording?
It is. Yeah. The red light is on.
The red light is on. I'm going to be like manically checking that from now on.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we're back and it's a new day, a new episode. And as much as that conversation was incredible, I don't want us to feel like we need to try and repeat it.
Sure. Yeah.
We can have a new conversation today. And when it feels right, let's fold in what we talked about last time.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Okay, so I asked you this question as a warm-up last week, and I'm going to do it again. What did you listen to on the way over here?
I did. So I have my liked songs section of Spotify, and it's very curated, unsurprisingly. But I would be lying if I didn't say that I listened to Arthur Russell again.
Amazing.
All the way. It's so true. It's so real.
I'm really glad because, like I said, I actually can talk about Arthur Russell this week.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we're going to fold this in. Last
Sure.
week, Tauni was talking about Arthur Russell and was wearing an incredible Arthur Russell t-shirt. And I was like, is he new or old? Was basically my thought because I couldn't remember who he was.
Sure.
I went home and did my research, and I was like, oh, of course I know who Arthur Russell is. I don't have the deep knowledge that you have. Tauni dropped a whole history on Arthur Russell last week.
Like I do.
But I love his music. How We Walk on the Moon.
Yes.
That's been on
good.
rotation for me for a decade.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was him.
That's amazing. That's so cool. I'm glad that you, rediscovered him after.
Yeah,
this past
so thank you for
weekend.
that.
Yeah.
His music is really unique.
Truly, yeah. I mean, he spans so many different genres. It's wild. He's such a prolific musician, and he's someone that I turn to a lot for inspiration, both with painting and, I don't know, just the way that he maneuvered the world and viewed things was so special. And I don't know, a really unique individual. Also very meticulous and particular, and could be hard to work with sometimes.
Oh, interesting.
From what I heard, but yeah, you should definitely watch that documentary, Wild Combination.
Oh, right.
And then I'll send you the essay that I was talking about last week as well, by Olivia Lang, which is a love letter to Arthur Russell that makes me cry every time I read it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do the full history.
Yeah.
Because after, in the shower yesterday, actually reuniting with Arthur Russell, I was like, oh, I want to buy records. I want to have him on rotation in the house.
Totally. Yeah, he's
more.
Awesome. I'm glad that you like him. I don't know if you had seen this, but I have a bumper sticker, an Arthur Russell bumper sticker that I haven't put on yet.
Okay.
because I told myself I just got a car this last year.
Yeah, Tawny's a new driver.
I'm a new driver.
Which is an interesting thing we should talk about.
Yeah, totally. Ready to talk about it. Yeah, I have a bumper sticker, an Arthur Russell bumper sticker that says, "If this truck is running, I'm listening to Arthur Russell."
Oh my God. I love that, and I love the idea of that on your little red square. Your Kia car, your hamster mobile.
My Kia Soul.
Tawny and I both have matching red box cars.
Yeah.
They're not matching fully. They're like cousins.
Yeah.
From like estranged parents, but as close as you can get for two different types of cars.
Yeah. I love it.
Tell us why you are a new driver. Like why didn't you drive before? What brought you to get a car now?
Yeah, so I lived in Reno for middle and high school, and I just never got my license there. I moved to Chicago when I was 17, like honestly before I even finished high school. I think I finished high school online and they mailed me my diploma.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went to Chicago and you don't need a license there. You just don't.
Yeah,
like,
public transit.
Yeah, it's so solid. And you can get to like every part of the city with public transit. And if you can't get somewhere in the city, there's like a Metra. They call it the Metra train. It's like the train that leads you to the suburbs.
Metra?
It's called a Metra train.
Wow, it's a female.
Yes. Yeah,
Beautiful. Chicago
I've
is
never thought
feminist. I didn't know. Oh, that's cool. I am. That's the biggest downfall, I believe, of LA is the lack of public transit for a big city. It's too sprawled, and you can't get anywhere without driving, and it does put a hankering into your activities.
Absolutely, yeah. Did you know that I read somewhere? I can't recall where it was, but there was like an estimation of when the public transit in LA will be on par with that of Chicago and New York, and it's 2071. So we're like 80.
Dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll finally be able to ride the train here.
Oh my God, that's sad.
Yeah.
But I imagine having to all of a sudden put a train in is a pretty big project.
Sure.
Like how does one do that?
Yeah.
I can't even like figure out how to Swiffer my house. The idea of having to figure out how to like put a train all over a city is
It's a lot.
beyond me. That's why I'm not an engineer. So anyways, I should probably introduce you. I feel like you're a friend of the pod already, but no one knows. So Tawny is a friend who I only met in LA, but is from Reno as well. She's a painter. She's a film photographer. And I like to say a community bringer honor.
Oh, yeah.
Gatherer.
Yeah.
I wrote it down and I'm forgetting. Tawny is... the Great Connector, Tauni Western.
Okay, yes.
That's the title I've given you in my mind.
Honored.
So Tawny is someone that we were connected to through a mutual friend in Reno when we moved here through Michaela. And we just connected with Tawny right away. And it's been really cool to be friends with Tawny in this new era because she has introduced us to all of our other new friends. Tawny is like known in this city and in the people that know her as truly the great connector. Like she brings everyone into the same room all the time, and just it's a beautiful community of people, and we're so thankful to have met you because like I said, we've met so many people through you, but also have gone to so many cool events because of you, and you are just a cultivator of community, and it's so lucky for us that you were our first friend that we made in LA.
Oh.
So are we gonna cry?
Yeah, I might cry during this episode. The first tears shed on Hot CONT.
I mean, honestly, it's about time, right? Like, I'm ready to make someone cry, and I'd rather it be a good cry than a bad.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you all are just like in the folds now. It's so special and just really important to me. The community here is so beautiful. I talked about this last week too. I feel like we're going to reference.
I know
last week
we're
a
going to keep
lot.
saying that, but that's all right. Everyone just deal with it.
Yeah.
Everyone listening, we went through a trauma. We're recovering.
Yeah, I have a really beautiful community in Chicago, but in LA, it's a lot of Chicago people. But it's so special and cohesive, and everyone gets along, and everyone is like so supportive of one another, and very different personalities and different interests, which
Totally.
I don't know. There's so much value in that, and
I'd say that's very true. There's kind of an aesthetic similarity. I feel like when I walk into a party or walk into a picnic setting and like everyone's sitting there. I'm like, wow, this looks like a painting. It makes sense. Everyone looks like they belong here. But then you meet people, and some are from other countries, some are from different cities.
Yeah.
Everyone's an artist or a maker or musician in some way or another. And
Yeah.
like, there are some bold personalities, and there are some, like, I don't know, it's so cool. Every single gathering I've been to, I've made a friend or a connection that really excites me and inspires me, and that's thanks to you.
That's amazing. Yeah, it brings me a lot of joy when all of my friends come together and they like build those connections or
Yeah.
are able to form a relationship outside of me. Yeah, that's really important to me, and I'm very intentional about who I bring around. And yeah, I'm just grateful that you all
Yeah.
are here and vibing really hard with everyone.
Yeah, so are we. It's so fun that also we are like friend here. Our first and real friend in LA is a Reno person. Like that's
Yeah.
also just so silly.
Totally. I know.
We stick together without even trying.
Yeah. I feel like when I meet someone from Reno or if I meet someone from Chicago, there's just this instant connection. I spent so much time in both of those places.
Yeah.
My formative years. So I don't know. It's just like immediate in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You just have a lot to relate.
You're a
over
Northwest
and-
Reno girl, right?
Yeah. McQueen, baby.
Tried and true.
Yeah.
I am actually a Reno High girl, but my street was in Northwest Reno was the cutoff. The kids that lived across
Oh.
the street from me went to McQueen, and we
Oh.
went to Reno. The
Rivalries.
Great Divide. Yeah. Yeah, so I feel, and I went to Clayton Middle.
Oh, that's
so
right.
That's where I met Jerome.
Yeah. You met Felicia there as well? Did you know Felicia then?
Oh no, I didn't know she
Yeah,
went there.
She went there. That's where she met Jerome.
Oh my God.
And, like,
Maybe I did, but I just
yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah.
Middle school, what a blur, huh?
Yeah. I was billing her scale.
Ah. How did you dress
Checks
in
out.
middle school? I need to know
Oh
that.
my God.
Because I dressed crazy.
Speaking of trauma. I discovered, so someone from Wisconsin moved to Reno. I can't remember.
Please tell me they were the one that like brought the culture influence for
They
you.
did.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like into pop punk and like
Oh.
introduced me to all of this like music that I hadn't really been familiar with because I have so many siblings. You just kind of end up listening to whatever they listen to. And my siblings, sorry y'all, have interesting taste when it comes to music, at least, you know. I gotta roast them. Yeah, so he like got in trouble or something in Wisconsin, and it's like very vague memory of him getting in trouble and his mom being like, I can't deal with you anymore. I'm gonna send you to live
my
with your
God.
aunt in Reno. And then he just like changed everyone's life in that
Oh
middle
my
school,
God.
like in 7th grade.
The power of this kid.
Yeah,
I want to know more about him. He sounds like there should be an A24 indie film about him. Wow.
Yeah.
Is he still in Reno?
I have no idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you're listening, whoever you are, Wisconsin boy, I know that this audience is mostly Reno, so everyone look out for this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so how'd you dress? Pop
Okay.
punk?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of, in middle school, I think it was like trying to be accepted. I did wear Abercrombie and Fitch. I had like, I had not to tie it in.
Yeah.
I remember getting my first Abercrombie and Fitch, my first and only hoodie, because that's what everyone wore.
Totally.
All of Reno, truly. And
Yeah.
like you had to have
It
that
took
shit.
over the culture.
Yeah, it was like American Eagle, Abercrombie, and then hand-me-downs from my older sisters. So I was like 11 years old wearing a tank top that said Hot Lips on it. It's shit like that too. So it's like a really crazy amalgamation of attire.
You know
and I
what's
also wore
interesting?
band shirts too.
Okay, so that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Depending on the band, but yeah.
yeah, good Charlotte.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, we went to middle school at the same era, which was very much the like turning into emo scene era. Like it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
totally there yet, I feel like, but like we were getting there.
Yeah.
And the Clayton influence was very much that. It was either you're like preppy in the Abercrombies and that stuff, or you are in the like your bangs are starting to really come in heavy over one eye,
Yeah,
and
they
like
are. The really far side part.
yes, and
Yeah.
you're starting to, a lot of people were wearing sweatbands,
Oh yeah.
like very Hot Topic
Yeah.
central.
That was
And
our
I
favorite
was
store.
I was very preppy.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know if I can say that. I never owned any Abercrombie or any brand name because my mom, we couldn't afford it and she didn't
Yeah.
let me.
Yeah.
So I was in like Shopko clothes. Remember Shopko?
Shopko.
Yeah. I was in very
Whoa.
basic, like grocery store clothes, Target, whatever. And I was fine with that. But my best friend every year for my birthday would give me a gift card to Old Navy. And so I got this neon, I'll never forget, bright yellow fleece Old Navy zip up, like a quarter zip, bright yellow. And I wore that all the time with like swishy pants.
What did it explain swishy pants?
You know,
to
like
me?
back, like like athletic swishy pants. Like
Okay.
I don't know how to explain
like
them.
the windbreaker
Yes,
material.
windbreaker. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, yeah.
Like that was my style.
Swishy pants.
It was like a bright yellow thing with like I had like a silver pair of swishy pants, black.
Wow.
And then I couldn't figure out how to like dress like all my peers because I wasn't into that music that they were into, but I
Yeah.
like wanted to be edgy.
Mhm.
And so I started wearing like my brother's old t-shirts
Mhm.
that were small, just like super tight.
Yeah.
Like that was a moment I really went through, was like tight old t-shirts.
Yeah.
And yeah, what a weird time. Capris, I also used to wear. I remember the
Oh.
7th grade, my mom bought me new clothes for middle school. This was not my choice. This is like what she bought me.
Mhm.
And I had a pair of bright orange capris with like actual orange slices all over it.
Oh.
Not my style at all,
I would
but
wear
I like
those now.
wore them. Yeah, now maybe. And like a little preppy like collared shirts.
Okay.
Ugh.
Interesting.
And then by the end of 8th grade, I was wearing like sweatbands and like
Yeah.
tight t-shirts and little chokers, and so weird.
The early aughts were very strange times in fashion. It's traumatizing, like seeing photos of all of us like wearing just what we wore. I don't know.
I know.
It's nuts.
I would have loved to go to school where there was a uniform. I think it would have been really good for me emotionally, because it was pretty hard for me to figure out how to get dressed, and I was so lazy that I didn't ever want to put much effort in. But I remember always feeling kind of like less than or outcasty because I didn't have the Abercrombies or
Totally.
the like brand things.
Yeah.
But it is also so interesting to like witness yourself go through those eras
Mhm.
of like how you try and fit in and how you try and define yourself.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to dress.
Sure.
You've
Yeah.
got it locked down though.
Thank you.
Style queen.
Thank you. Yeah, I've really honed in on
Yeah.
what flatters my body shape and things like that. So, I mean, I was still figuring it out at that time too. I wore the most unflattering clothes. And again, a lot of my clothing was hand-me-down stuff or
Yeah.
thrift store stuff. I only had the one Abercrombie thing, and it was like such a big deal that
Yeah.
I got it. Otherwise, it was like
Did it like hang in a plastic bag,
Yeah.
like to keep it safe in your closet?
I did have a tracksuit that I wore sometimes. Anyways,
Yeah.
weird, strange times, very strange times. But I appreciate the compliment of my present,
Yeah, of
my
course.
present day style.
I talked about it again last week, and I want to tie it into talking about your art, because I think you have honed in an aesthetic and a style that is bled through everything you create and how you present yourself online and how you present in person. And I think that's really cool, and that's what I want to talk to you about. And I'll just also use this moment to talk about the new direction of the podcast a little bit. We really went in on this last time, and I'll do less now, but I think it's important for the listeners to know that with this new season of the podcast, I am excited to take it a little bit in a different turn, to talk more to artists and makers and creators about the content they're making, the content they're inspired by, the content they're disliking, etc. To make it a little bit more personal and to make it feel a little bit more enriched in the things that I like in a more grounded way, if this makes sense. Like, the pop culture is fun, and I want to keep the pop culture around, but I want to really invest in the community of people that I know that are really talented and interesting and have amazing projects that they're working on, and give and share platform to that, and just like talk about what we're all inspired by and making and laughing at on the internet, etc. So with that, Tauni is someone who I wanted to bring on because she is not a pop culture girly necessarily, but
Not really at all.
and like at all, but she's a culture girly for sure. And like how we define pop culture versus culture is a whole nother conversation. But Tauni is someone who is an artist through and through and is very inspiring to me. And as a friend, it's cool to see how you use the internet as a service point for your art, but also your personality and your style. And it all feels very cohesive and well curated, and also very authentic. And I think that's something that should be talked about. And that's like what I want Hot Content to be now, is like, how do we talk about our art and how we show up with it, and how we also use this weird internet tool in our favor and get it in front of people. And I think you're great at it. So let's talk about it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very flattered to be the first on this iteration of the podcast.
Yeah.
Honored to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a very analog person.
Yeah.
So the way that I maneuver social media has changed quite a bit in the last number of years. Just with my work, I was working in like creative marketing and social media, and I've created content for brands and things like that over the last few years. But I had to be on it because I was monitoring the social channels. So I started using it more, I think, regularly. And as an artist trying to do something with my practice and like sell work, it's just an easy way to reach audiences. And I feel like a lot of people will have separate Instagrams. We touched on this too. I used to have a separate Instagram for art, and it was too much. It was too much to manage. So now it's just a combination of everything. It's like I am out there, you know, which I feel like I can be really vulnerable on my profile, and I'm not afraid of that. I feel like there's a lot of stigma surrounding some things that I touch on, like death, and people have a hard time talking about it, and but a lot of people, everyone experiences it, you know, death and grief and maneuvering heartbreak and stigmas, I don't know, surrounding trauma, like talking about trauma and mental health and things like that. And I'm trying to, I don't know, I'm just doing it, I guess. I just like posting my work, starting conversations, posting funny things like license plates that I see that make me laugh, and I don't know, weird things like I went to a Goodwill to drop some stuff off, and there was a garbage bin out front, and there was a blue bag in the garbage bin, but it was taped around the garbage bin with Supreme. Tape, like just
very
like
LA.
Yeah, just like shit like that. So capturing moments like that too.
Yeah, and it's great. And like I said previously, I think you can tell that you're an artist because your aesthetic your point of view feels similar no matter what the medium. So Tauni's paintings will blend in well with her photography, as well as like a selfie you've taken, as well as like your Instagram story of you selling your clothes, and like then there's a joke kind of thing, and it just makes sense. Like some people I think too much about these things. I think we've all been guilty of getting a little in our heads about Instagram at some point or another. But I feel it's refreshing to come across somebody who's just like you said, it's all in one place, take it or leave it. And I think that's the kind of person on the internet I want to be. But I've been somebody that's been so insanely online since MySpace came around. And like you said, I do it for work, that it's sometimes hard for me to separate I tend to overthink it a lot. And then I go through seasons of like not giving a shit at all. And that's fluctuated for me since, like I said, MySpace days.
Yeah, well, we like grew up with the internet too. And I was also just always online when I was a kid. I would run home and log in to our dial-up AOL to get on AIM and talk to Jerome. You know, like,
oh my God,
like
I think I had friends
day.
with, I think he was my friend on AIM too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been a person that's just been attracted to the internet since it came around.
Sure.
And I'm using attracted as a kind word of addicted. I'm being sweet to myself. Yeah, and then I sometimes like question that, like, why do I post so much? Like, why am I online so much? Why do I need to be online? And I know for me it is an approval thing in a lot of ways, but it's also it's a way for me to express myself that feels very fun. Yeah. Like I find posting dumb things to my Instagram stories very fun.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
Oh, thank you.
You make me laugh all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like I enjoy that sort of expression, and sometimes I feel bad about that, or like in my head about that. I'm like, oh God, like am I icky because I like doing that?
Sure. No, I've been asking people. I've been doing like pulse checks with some friends because I've been posting more regular. I've just been creating so much in recent months that there was a period where I was posting every single day, like a hard grid post every day. Yeah. And now with the algorithm and the way that it's just not showing people everything, and people are also, the behaviors of folks have changed when maneuvering Instagram or social media, whatever it is. like stories versus grid posts, and the way what the algorithm is showing us, which is primarily reels.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. But I've
Yeah.
had to do pulse checks recently. I'm like, am I annoying?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
am
I
I
get that.
posting too much?
I'm constantly in my head that I'm like annoying my peers.
Yeah, I feel that way too. But whatever, they follow us for a reason, you know.
Amen.
They can unfollow us.
If we're annoying you, sorry. Too
Unfollow
bad.
us.
Unfollow us. Whatever. Do you have a favorite person that you're following right now online, like a creator or what kind? Maybe even like what does your explore page look like?
I don't ever use the explore page, like really at all.
Okay.
I mostly use stories. Sometimes I'll go through the homepage. There are a couple artists that I really love. And there's this woman named Katie, I think her last name's Merchant. She's Thank You Okay on Instagram.
That sounds familiar.
Really, we look kind of similar, like we would be related, but the way that she, I don't know, approaches fashion and just her lifestyle and the way she shoots photos is really interesting to me and just like aesthetically pleasing, and I love that.
Cool.
And then a lot of painters. I follow a lot of painters, and that's mostly what I'm looking at, honestly. Yeah.
That's nice.
What about you? Anyone that you're into right now?
Well, my explore page is actually what I use a lot. My explore page feels a lot like my Pinterest homepage, which is very curated to all the things I like. And right now it's very shoe heavy.
That's right.
Kind of like spiritual memes heavy. They're kind of like existential crisis themed memes, which I enjoy, which tells you a lot about my mental health. And then it's usually there's a couple like graphic design creators that are in there, or DJ things. Like it's a pretty good amalgamation of like all of my interests, but it's really shoe dominant these days because I can't help but click on a good shoe photo, and then that just, feeds the monster, and now it's 99% shoes.
Yeah, I really love the shoes that you post, though. Like, I would wear them. It's inspiring.
You.
And they're not necessarily, I've been getting more into sneakers recently.
Yeah.
Like, I just bought my first pair of Solomons a few months ago.
Yeah, I love them.
I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, what do they call it? Was it Gorp? Like, it's like, I don't know.
Gore-Tex?
Like, no. It's like
Gorp?
Yeah, it's like the fashion side of like hiking and I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. There's a term for that.
There's like, I don't know. I think someone said Gorp. Maybe I'm wrong.
I love it if that's what it is. But it's totally, right now is such a cool moment in the shoe, specifically in the shoe industry, but fashion industry, period. The way we're crossing over. Like high fashion is now basically workout clothes that are elevated and tweaked by like really cool artists.
Yeah.
The way shoes are being pushed right now blows my mind. Like, I think sneakers especially have always been like an art to some level, but it's kind of like a small pocket of people that are in that world, I feel like. And then shoes are just appreciated by the culture, but the artistry around it now, it's like Crocs hiring Haleigh Hoff, who was like an insane shoe designer. He made all the Crocs that have the like ripple pattern that are really like funny looking, but they're like massive now and just selling for $600. Like
wild,
crazy stuff. Like New Balance works with him. Every time he goes and does a shoe, you can tell it's like his imprint, but it's so bizarre. And now it's becoming like the fact that Crocs hired him. He used to be like high end only, very specific world, and now it's like infiltrating into like every brand of shoe. It's just it's an exciting time to be a shoe nerd. I'll tell you what. But I also love that like shoe fashion in LA especially is like wear whatever you want and wear it confidently and it'll like look sick. And I think workout or like athletic shoes are taking over here, and I'm so thrilled about it because they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
And so cool. Like the Solomon movement I'm so into.
Totally, me too. Yeah, I've been wearing them a lot. I'm wearing boots right now, but yeah, the comfort thing has become more important for me as I get older, as I enter my 30s.
I mean, I wear Hoka's 99% of the time now, which I recommend.
Yeah. Did you know that those were invented for like downhill running?
Huh.
We were talking about that.
Downhill running? Who does that?
I don't know. But a couple people were wearing them at this art night that we host sometimes, and it just came up. Someone was like, I think those were invented for downhill running, and then someone sent us an article about it, and yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I walk Barbados around our neighborhood where there's a lot of hills, and I can walk down them.
Yeah. It's better for your knees.
Anyways, Hoka's recommend, and I think you would look great in a pair.
Thank you. I used to have a pair.
Oh.
But then I switched to, I got these Pumas that I love so much, and now I have Solomons, and yeah.
I can't wait to see what you're going to get next.
Yeah.
I bet you're going to get a pair of Asics.
I might, actually.
Look at, I knew.
Yeah, I might. I've been thinking about it.
Hell yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your photography for a minute.
Okay.
You've been doing film photography for, you said, a really long time, right?
Yeah, since I was a kid. My mom was a photographer, so I spent a lot of time with her, like honestly processing film and helping her in the dark room and the film studio. And she was constantly taking photos of us when we were younger,
Cute.
setting up backdrops with like bed sheets and things like that with us when we were kids. So I got into it really early, and I have not stopped. Yeah, it's kind of evolved into this really big part of my practice now too, and I feel like I've really honed in on my interests and composition, and yeah, more recently I've been doing photos, a lot of portraiture of friends, and then friends who are musicians or friends who have art practices, and they want photos to promote themselves.
Yeah, like me.
Yes, would love to photograph you, but I just got a medium format camera, which I'm really excited about. I primarily shoot 35 millimeter on a Pentax, and I usually have it with me like all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's honestly become this like part of me. I always have a camera with me.
I love it. Your photos are so great.
Thank you.
I like how you shared last time that you start usually with portraiture of your friends. You take the photo, and then that's what you use to paint off of, right?
Yeah, typically, yeah. It's just another way for me to connect with them. A lot of my work has to do with like connection and memory and nostalgia and things like that. In a way, I started doing portraiture painting wise because I just started painting like not that long ago, but as a means to connect with people. It was during lockdown, and I was feeling really isolated and couldn't see anyone. I was talking to people, but it was such high anxiety. There was so much happening, and very like stressful times, and it was a way for me to connect with my close friends or like my chosen family, and just to spend time with them. Sometimes on my captions or something when I post a photo, or if I post like a photo series or a portrait that I've painted, I'm like, I spent time with so-and-so this week, because it's truly what it is. I'm just like hanging out with them. It's a very intimate process, like finding a way to like relate and connect with a person that isn't physically there with you, but also portray them in a way that's true to who they are. And and like their interests. And sometimes I'll ask, like, is there a color you want me to avoid if I am painting someone? Or sometimes I won't tell them I'm painting them at all, and I just surprise them. Yeah, so it's different every time, but I've been trying to take photos of everyone, so it's just that's my full process. I'll like meet with them, we'll talk about it, I'll take their photo, and then if I'm drawn to one of the photographs or the composition or the color or whatever, then I will translate it onto a canvas. I used to plan paintings with collage too, which has been really fun. I reference film and music a lot in my work too, whether it be like the titles or the color palettes that I use. It's all things that I'm really into. So I'm just like folding it all in.
It's so cool. You're so talented.
Thank you.
Is there any famous person that you would love to do a portrait of?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, let me circle back on that. I have to think about it. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's totally fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think about what my mom has told me to paint because it would sell. She's like, paint like Barack Obama.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I love him, but
I
wouldn't paint him.
That's so funny. I mean, honestly, a painting in your style of Barack, I get it. It would sell. Your mom's not wrong. Oh, remember the Hope posters?
Oh yeah, I'll never forget. There's one that sold recently for like $1 million or something.
Way.
Yeah, like I think maybe the original, in like an auction house in Santa Monica that my friend was working at. Yeah.
It was me, by the way.
You bought it?
I bought it. You come over, it's on my wall.
It's absurd. Wouldn't put it past you.
I think if I were to paint a portrait, not that I paint, but if I were, I feel like there's certain people that are like, and maybe this is because I've already seen portraits of them painted, but like a Bill Murray, he feels
Oh.
like someone that's like very portraited.
Sure. Yeah.
Or like I could see like an Adrian Brody being interesting because he's got such
Yeah.
intense features. I feel like you could do like
Yeah, I love
something
Adrian
kind
Brody. Yeah. I would do like Bowie or something, but I feel like that's
Yeah.
also
of cliche.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It
Sorry.
is. It is. That's why I didn't say it initially,
Yeah.
but that's like who came to mind first.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll know.
Be thinking about it for the next few days.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I want to talk about my pop culture girly moment, my new segment that we're going to try out.
Okay.
So because Tawny's not totally a pop culture girly, we're going to see when and where she was.
Yeah.
So in this segment, you're going to say, I, Tauni Western, was a pop culture girly when blank or for blank, whatever grammatically makes sense.
Okay.
Full sentence, please.
I, Tauni Western, was a pop culture girly when pro wrestling was in its prime.
Oh my God. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, pro wrestling.
So older siblings. Yeah, they were really, I always watched or listened to what they were into.
Yeah.
And my siblings went through like a WWF
Sure.
phase.
Well, 90s, right? Any
Yeah.
older sibling. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That checks out.
But I just thought back to, I think it was third grade, we'd have these like questions of the day.
Oh my
I can't
God.
believe I'm saying this. We'd have these questions of the day, and it was like, who would you want to meet alive, like anyone alive or dead? And I said Triple H from the WWF.
Oh my God, that's who you need to do a painting of.
Triple H. Is he still alive, I wonder?
I don't even know who that is.
Does
but
he listen to this podcast?
Triple H could be my name. I've got 3 H's in my name.
He's the guy that, do you?
Well, Haley's got an H at the beginning and the end. I'm in a Haley sandwich and then Hoff.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So.
true. The beginning and the end. He's the guy who did the suck it, like with his.
Oh my God.
That was like
Oh, that's
tiny
who you wanted
Tawny.
to meet. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
Because we watched so much wrestling when I was younger.
Yeah.
I watched so much other stuff too, but I was also really into nature and like being outside.
Yeah.
But when I was watching TV with my older siblings,
That's so funny.
we were watching WWF.
I remember going to a sleepover at a friend's house. It was like a birthday sleepover. There was like a ton of us girls over there. And there was an older brother who was up in his room watching WWF. And I was like, let's go up there. Like, it was like so.
You were so intrigued.
Yes. I was like, and we all like, eventually we're all laying there in the bedroom with this poor brother, like watching this fucking wrestling.
It's absurd.
Yeah, that was not on in my household. So that's a reference point I have only from visiting other people's homes.
Yeah, it's making a resurgence. We should go.
But is it?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen multiple people posting stories about going to wrestling matches recently.
Crazy.
Or like monster truck rallies.
You know, in Reno, there's, and I hope this is appropriate for me to say, this is what I believe it's actually called, but midget wrestling tournament in Reno each year.
I don't know.
I think it's literally called that, but I don't think we're supposed to say that word anymore,
no,
right?
No, like dwarf. That's what I think the appropriate thing to say is. Interesting. Not surprised if that is the title of it for Reno.
Yeah, maybe I'm forgetting it, but I know that that's
Yeah.
what people refer to it as, which is also I'm
Unsettling.
I'm feeling a little bit like I want to reel back this conversation.
Yeah, no, take it back.
We're gonna cut that out. Oh my God! Yikes! Okay, I'm embarrassed. Okay.
No, you're fine. It's tricky to like try and like touch on, because our last conversation was so good.
I know, and I want to bring it all in, but I'm like,
it was so good. And yeah, it's just tricky to I want to touch on all that stuff. I somehow felt like I was sharper that day, and I was incredibly hungover.
I know. I think I was sharper that day. I'm feeling a little foggy, but
Yeah, same.
that's okay though.
Yeah.
We're just gonna let this be what it is.
Yeah.
This was what God wanted for us.
intended.
This is the way God intended it, so we're gonna do it. And you know what? I think my desire to control this is what's coming up for me is like I want to control, like get back to the conversation we had last time.
Yeah.
But it's a good practice for me and not. Let's just ride the wave, baby.
All right. Riding it.
But is there something that you remember that we want to talk about? Because I'm happy to.
No. I just like, it just felt like, I don't know, like fluid and nice. It was just nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation. So.
And look at us now.
We're fucking struggling
Talking
today.
about small people wrestling. But I do appreciate your pop culture girly moment. I think that's good.
Thank you. Yeah, really vulnerable moment for me to share that with all of Reno.
It's okay. Reno listeners will be down for the wrestling comment.
I know. I feel like they could relate.
1000%. I think Reno culture was wrestling culture for a long time. It's either that or like
is.
cowboy culture. Yeah.
Yeah, true. The rodeo.
Yeah, it's like you either went to the rodeo or you watched wrestling or you did both. And now I think the queer line dancing situation.
Oh yeah. Did you
in
go?
LA?
Did you
Yes,
go?
I've gone
Okay.
twice, and I'm
To Stud Country.
stud country. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely obsessed with it because I love line dancing, and
Okay.
I loved going to the rodeo in my like 18 to 21-year-old
Yeah,
era
yeah.
because we would just get wasted
Yeah.
and like dance like
Yeah.
our hearts out, and it was so fun. And I appreciate that cowboy men like to dance.
Cowboy man.
Cowmen.
Oh my god.
And so I feel like, but I never liked going to the rodeo because obviously I didn't know it when I was 18, but
Yeah.
like morally I didn't align with anyone there. But
Of
I
course.
like now as an adult, I'm like, oh, I would still like to go to the rodeo to like have the fun I used to have.
Yeah.
And now stud country is giving me a slice of that plus some, and I'm obsessed.
Oh, I'm so glad. I still haven't been. I've also never been to the rodeo. I never went to the rodeo
Wow.
all of my time in Reno. And I think that, yeah, I don't know.
We should go.
Well,
We should go home for a trip together and go to the rodeo because I think it is a place you can have fun if you're like with a good group and
Sure.
you're not like stuck in the crowds of like,
yeah.
you know, on your own to like deal with the people there.
Yeah.
I also haven't been since I was really young, but I just know how much fun I used to have. If
Yeah.
you have a couple Jack Daniels and throw them down, then you're like, whatever.
Anything goes.
And I don't like to actually watch the rodeo because that makes me sad.
Yeah, okay. I have to touch on something. I just went to the LA County Fair for the first time since I was a kid.
Okay.
I'm still processing.
I've
like
seen
3
a lot of
weeks
people
ago.
on my Instagram have recently been going.
Yeah, so it's done now. I think
Okay.
it's like a 2-week
Okay.
event. But we went on the last day because a bunch of my friends who are musicians out here had like a stage, the farm stage, and it was just like they were playing sets back to back, like a
Fun.
bunch of different musicians, and it was so much fun to like be invited. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was really cool, but that part was cool. And then you walk like 100 feet and there's a pig racing
Yeah.
arena. And then
Deep fried corn dogs.
oh yeah, just like I was overwhelmed. There was so much happening. Like anything you could have imagined was probably there. But there was that pig racing stand, which already is like, I don't know about
Yeah.
this. And then the announcer comes out at some point, and he's like, "All right, for the first time in LA County Fair history, we've got baby lambs."
No.
About to, and he's like, "They're still on the bottle," and everyone's like, "Yeah!"
Oh my
It was nuts. And he's like, "Can I get some adult volunteers to hold the bottles for when the babies are done racing?" I was like, "Where the fuck are we?"
Someone call PETA.
I know. And like 3 people that I was with were vegan, and I was just like, "What is happening? What is this alternate universe?" And people were stoked.
Oh
Like
my
of
God.
course, baby animals, precious. Racing.
Yeah, just let them walk around freely. you know?
Yeah.
Just let them be.
Yeah, we didn't watch it, obviously. We had to walk away. But
Too triggered.
I was just like, what
I would have
the
been
fuck?
watching, like sobbing, but every once in a while being like, "Go!" Like loving the competitive energy, but hating what's actually happening.
Yeah, that place is wild.
Oh.
I spent a full day there, though. And yeah, we drank $20 margaritas.
Yeah.
And sat on bales of hay.
Wow.
And watched our friends play music. And
From your Instagram stories, it looked vibey in a unique way.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I like every once in a while, like once a year, doing something like that. That just feels like so different than the culture that you're currently in.
Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, shake you up. Be like, oh, there are
Yeah.
other people on this planet that do not do what I do.
Yeah.
Do not think the way I do.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's jarring, but it's real.
Yeah, it's very real. It was so real. So real.
It was
Surreal.
too
so
real. Yeah.
Surreal and so real.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Should we move into what are we hot for?
Sure.
Are you going to do the same as last time, or are you going to have new ones?
I feel like we should touch maybe I'll just like quickly list the ones that I said last week.
Let's do that. Let's touch on what we did last week. And do you remember?
I don't. I don't. I know that gatekeeping was one that I'm not for.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
Betting.
Betting.
You were into
Oh,
betting.
investing into comfortable betting was.
Yes, you were hot for that.
Yeah.
You had a whole list.
Oh, hot for prose poetry.
Oh, yeah. You have to repeat that because no one else is going to come on this podcast and say that.
I fucking love prose poetry. I've been like writing it, and like I've been writing a lot, which is new for me. I'm not a writer by any means. I never really did write at all. Like I never
wow.
journaled or anything in my adolescence, so this is a new thing.
You just started picking it up and
yeah.
writing prose poetry. Did you have a history in it? Did you take a class?
No,
nothing.
No.
Huh.
So I'm writing like essays, prose poetry, and a lot of it ends up like being in my captions on posts that I make. But I also made a Substack that I very infrequently post on.
Cool.
Which is usually aligned like with my Instagram. Like I'll post it there at some point.
Can you, for me and anyone else that's a layman out there, define what prose poetry is versus normal poetry?
Yeah, it's just like paragraph form, so it can be like storytelling. And, yeah, I don't know. Ada Limon is someone that I read a lot of, and she's the 24th poet laureate of the U.S. and she's from Sonoma, California, and she is just like her work really speaks to me. And I think I've purchased like all of her books recently, like in the last couple of years. Mary Oliver, also really solid. Billy Collins is someone that I was turned on to by someone last year who's also really interesting, who didn't start writing poetry until he was like 40, which is really enlightening and like inspiring, I think, for creatives who think that it's too late for them. It's never too late. I love
finding people out in the world that are like, oh, I just started this later in life. It's healthy for us to remember that.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have everything figured out by 30.
Yeah. There's like so many painters, like MacArthur Binion, who's a Chicago abstract painter. He didn't find success until his like 50s.
Wow.
And now he's like killing it. And I didn't start painting until I was 28.
Right.
So just a few years ago. And that like upsets me that I didn't find it sooner, but I'm glad that I found it.
You found it when you were supposed to find it.
Yeah, I know. Glad that I did. Glad that I took that elective. But prose poetry, probiotics was another one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Gut health, baby.
Changed my life.
Yes, we are anti-bloat in this house.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you're not taking probiotics right now,
do it.
You should be taking probiotics right now. I am a new woman since I started taking probiotics. I don't know why. I mean, it's expensive, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. I'm with you on that completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it. That was a good list.
Yeah.
That feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poetry was great. Thank you for sharing more, because I went home actually and was like, what is prose poetry?
Yeah.
I didn't look it up though.
Sure.
Just thought about it. And last week I was hot for The 100-Foot Wave on HBO.
That's right.
An incredible docuseries about surfing that has got me absolutely gripped, and I cannot wait to finish it when Michaela gets home from her vacation. I'm not allowed to watch it without her, but it's so good. Watch it if you haven't. I spoke about how inspiring it is to just like witness people that are so deeply focused and passionate about the thing it is that they do, and like they can't do anything but that. Like these surfers are so all in on this mission to catch the biggest waves, and it's like, I want to wake up and feel like that one day.
Yeah. You got to find your thing.
I got to find the thing that I'm just like willing to whisk it all.
Whisk it all?
I'm reeling to whisk it all. Oh, no. Okay, and I don't remember what I was not for last week. Oh,
how could we forget?
I'm not going to do that again. Okay. But I will just say I'm not for the doom of AI taking over. I listened to the daily episode last week, and it ruined me. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about it again because it goes dark quick.
You're not the same person after you listen to that daily episode.
It ended the podcast last week on a sour note. So now let's go back to what are you hot for now today?
Parallel parking on the first try.
Oh my God. Is there a better feeling?
Oh my God. I did it last night. I did it earlier this week.
Wow.
And that's a big deal. One, because parallel parking is hard and for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And two, I'm a new driver.
Right.
So that was like a big deal.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I did it yesterday and I was like, damn, I hope someone saw that.
Did you like get out of the car and like start walking with a little swag? You were like,
I tried to, but the car was at like a slight slant. So I had to like kick the door open and like hope that it stayed open. No, I'm kidding. But parallel parking on the first try.
It's almost orgasmic.
Yeah. An incredible feeling. Yeah. What a rush. What a rush.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm hot for is when you put your hair in a ponytail and the hair tie goes around the exact amount of times you need it to. Oh. You know how sometimes it's like too tight or then too loose if the hair tie isn't.
Oh my God, it's got like the perfect amount. Do you think it's the elasticity?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
the one I just had to take it off my wrist because it was actually hurting so bad.
Cutting off your circulation.
Yeah, I was like, God, like I can't sit here for this whole hour with that squeezing me like that. So it's gone now. But I get it. And that one's like a tight grip.
Yeah, but not too tight. Oh, that one you had.
No, yeah. And if I put my hair up in a bun, it'll give me a migraine.
Oh no.
You know, you gotta like pull it out a little.
Yeah, it's no good. It's no good. So definitely hot for that.
That's such a like secret thing that women and men are going through on a daily basis that we don't talk about it enough.
No, we don't.
Like elastics in your hair can really affect your day.
Truly. It really can.
Like I had one last week that was like too stretched out.
Uh-huh.
And I had a low bun and it just like kept like, you know, every hour like falling out. And I was like, oh my God, like I have to go do my hair again. Like so annoying.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. I think that's a lot of reason why I don't run. I'm not a runner because I think it's the fucking ponytail.
That's the reason.
It distracts me. It's my asthma. It's my asthma in the ponytail. I haven't found the right hair tie yet. That's why I'm not a runner.
Oh my God. That's incredible. Okay, what are you not for?
I wrote these down last night with Christina and Hannah because it's really hard for me to think about what I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not for. I'm into so many things that
it's
like, what am I not into? Shopping at a different grocery store than the one that you normally go to. Because you don't know where anything is. Mm-hmm. And it's devastating. It's like, it really throws me off. I don't know.
I get that.
On Christmas, Christina and I were like driving back from a hike and we were going to make a meal and it was still early in the day, so we were trying to rush to a grocery store, whatever was on the way. She's like, oh, there's a Vons right here. And I guess I said, that's not my Vons. I was like, that's not my Vons.
Yeah, we're not going
there. Are you kidding me? I can't believe you would even suggest that. Yeah,
I do have a question. Where do you grocery shop in the city? What's your store? Vons?
Depends on my mood and what level of chaos I want to experience because there's a Vons on Sunset and on Virgil and Sunset, and it's like usually the one that I go to, and it is chaos. There's always something happening there.
Yeah,
you know.
I
So
bet.
Late night, a little weird to go there.
Yeah.
You also in California you can't. I mean, I don't buy a ton of alcohol, but you can't use self-checkout, and I usually just want to use self-checkout because lines are so long.
Right.
So sometimes I'll go to that Vons. There's an Albertsons that I go to.
Oh my God, Albertsons, that's a throwback.
Yeah. Nicer produce.
Really? At Albertsons?
Yeah. And Trader Joe's. Those are my go-tos. What do you go to?
I'm a Whole Foods girly.
Oh, interesting.
Dropping my whole bank.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one near you.
I just like it. It's aesthetically comfortable for me.
Sure.
It's become a problem. I have started doing most of my grocery shopping there. Originally, I was just going there for the few things I couldn't get at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of just switched to being only there. But the Ralph's by me is way too crowded and congested. It actually makes me feel like I'm going to have a panic attack. Like, I didn't think that was a thing I would experience at a grocery store, but it's just too much.
Is it the rock and roll Ralph's?
Yes.
insane.
It's crazy there. You can't even
Yeah.
get like a cart down the aisle. It's like always packed.
Yeah.
Weird vibes in there.
I've been there twice. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't go there anymore. It's
Yeah.
bad juju. And then there's a Gelson's that's like right on our street, which like
Yeah.
sometimes if I just want to walk to like get almond milk or something.
Yeah.
But
it's
it's
$1 million.
so expensive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been an interesting thing, like adapting to having to find multiple. I have to try and break apart my shopping to multiple shops. And
This is adulthood.
It's crazy. I'm like, that was the one perk about Reno is my Rayleighs. I could get it all there. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
done.
Yeah. I went
So-
to Gelson's once. I was making a pineapple upside down cake. I mean, I've been there multiple times, but I was making a pineapple upside down cake, and I needed maraschino cherries. That was the
Uh-huh.
only thing that was lacking
Uh-huh.
from my ingredients. And the only maraschino cherries they had was a jar that was $15.
Oh God, yeah, of course.
Yeah. and I was
Everything
like,
there is
okay.
yeah, it's insane. I thought
Yeah.
that Whole Foods was like the highest.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah, there's a grocery store chain in Chicago called Mariano's, and I have a lot of Chicago friends here, and we talk about Mariano's quite a bit. Like do you remember Mariano's? They have like grand pianos in Mariano's. They
Wow.
have bars with like bartenders wearing vests and like
What?
yeah, and you can shop with wine. It's like you walk around the grocery store.
That
like,
sounds
yeah, it's-
delightful.
Yeah, with wine and with the sound of piano music
Wow.
echoing through the aisles. It's really
I would love
beautiful.
to experience Mariano's.
Yeah.
I love
when
a
we
good
go to
grocery
Chicago.
store. Yeah, which we will one day. Oh God. Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
I am hot for. You already know what it is.
Yeah.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh yeah, you are.
I had to hold back when you were speaking about it earlier because I had to save it for this. I, as previously mentioned, I am new to Abercrombie. I never had it before. I never really even went into the stores. I think I went like once or twice with my friends and like knew it was off limits. So I just was like, who knows
What's the point? Yeah.
what internal thing I was battling at that era. But I watched a TikToker, shout out, her name's Claire Holt. She has really inspired my fashion lately. She's like a lesbian kind of mask. She like does fashion TikToks for like, these are my staple pants and these are my staple shirts as like
Yeah.
a mask lesbian.
Yeah.
And I've never really looked at stuff like that before, but she's really inspired me to like get some new staples, and she recommended some Abercrombie pants, and I was like, oh, I've never thought about looking at Abercrombie for anything.
Yeah.
Feels very 2003.
Because it is.
Yeah. But then I saw these pants and I was like, damn, I really like those. So then, long story short, bought some pants. They were too big. Had to go to the mall the other day to replace them, which I should also say I'm very hot for Westfield Mall. I haven't had a mall experience that was pleasurable like that in years. I was like, what is this mall? This is like bougie and gorgeous and outside and whatever. That's
Westfield.
Have you been? Century City?
No.
Oh
I mean,
my
I know
God.
I've been to a Westfield mall, but not that one.
Gorgeous.
I don't go that far west.
Yeah, I know. Well, one day if you ever want to go, I think I'm going to be doing it every Friday night.
Okay. Okay, noted.
I took myself on a date night to the mall because Michaela's out of town, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go return my pants, get some new pants, walk around, get dinner, see a movie.
Sure.
Treated
That
myself.
sounds that's like a beautiful evening.
It was stunning.
Yeah.
And it got kicked off right because I went to Abercrombie and I returned my pants only to find that I wanted every single item in the store. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna drop every single penny I got on this. And I got these pants, which I love, and another pair of pants. And that's it. I only did that there, but I'm gonna go back for next paycheck. I'm obsessed, and I posted about it yesterday on Instagram, and I will tell you that 3 of my male friends responded, and they all are people who I consider very fashionable, saying something's going on. Abercrombie is killing it right now. Like there is a
Interesting.
moment that people are aware of that like
Yeah.
Abercrombie is doing well right now.
They hired some new designers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing something because it truly. I walked in there and I was like, has it always been this good? Because
Yeah.
I've been sleeping for a long time.
Well, I'm happy for you. Pants are really hard to shop for.
And it's been the hardest thing for me my entire life,
Yeah.
especially lately, because I won't talk about it too much, but my body proportions are different than most women. I go out where people go in and vice versa. And I can't seem to find a pair of pants that like work with that. And I have only done secondhand shopping for pants for
Yeah.
like the last, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah,
Like I really
same.
haven't done, but like that's why buying pants at Abercrombie feels like unheard
Absurd,
of,
yeah.
insane. But they fit and they like look good, and I'm like, whoa, like
They're awesome.
if I had just bought one pair of pants like in the last decade that fit me right, who would I have been? My
Yeah.
confidence would have been through the roof. I already got compliments twice on these pants out in public.
Hell
I was like,
yeah.
holy shit, like this is what happens when you like buy Abercrombie. So anyways, that's
awesome.
what's going on for me. I'll probably be talking about it till the end of time. And then my not, also from my experience at the mall, I am not for the movies not having small sodas.
Oh,
Like small
it's
drinks.
only jumbo.
Yes, it's just like massive everything. And it's like I
Yeah.
had just had dinner. All I wanted was like a small Diet Coke,
Mhm.
like a can size with a gorgeous proportion of ice, you
Yeah.
know?
You gotta sneak that stuff in.
I know, but I was at the mall and I decided to go last minute. So I was like, I'll just like run in there, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like $8, and it was like
Woof.
2 liters of Diet Coke that I ended up drinking. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to kill me.
Yeah. That's a lot. I don't drink soda really anymore, other than tonic sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you love your tonic.
I ordered a whiskey soda last night, or not a whiskey soda, tequila soda last night, and I thought of you.
Yeah, how'd
It's
it
like,
feel?
Haleigh would be proud.
How did it feel?
Good. It burned a little bit, like going down.
It
No, you
burned?
just like taste the tequila more.
Oh.
You
You
ta-
prefer the
taste-
tonic taste.
I just like I don't like the
Tonic tawny.
No. No. But we're trying, we meaning me, Hannah, and Christina are trying to, and like less at our sugar intake, I guess.
Me
So,
too.
Yeah. So.
I decided last night.
How's it going so
I mean,
far?
I've been doing
12 hours later.
I've been doing less sugar for a long time now, but I really have kind of fallen back off the bandwagon. And last night I was laying in bed and feeling the way the sugar was affecting me
Mhm.
from dark chocolate,
Oh, interesting.
which was just minimal, but still I was like, I'm even feeling it in this. I need to like cut it out completely.
Yeah.
So I think so far I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
It's been 12
12
hours, so we'll see.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's I just noticed myself getting headaches immediately.
Yeah, that's not good.
So, and it's because there's snacks in this workplace that I'm in that are like cookies and
Mhm.
treats and Diet Cokes.
Mhm.
Not that there's sugar in there, but God knows what is, right?
Scary stuff. Very scary stuff.
Well, anything else you want to say to the pod?
If you've made it this far, thank you for listening, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, just please know that our first one was really organic.
It
and
was incredible.
gorgeous
Yeah.
and heartfelt, and this one, it does feel just kind of awkward to be like try and rehash a conversation we already had.
Yeah, totally.
So I appreciate you coming back and giving me more time
Yeah, of
and
course.
being generous. And I'm so excited that you are the first person
Yeah.
for the new season. I think it's appropriate, and I think appropriate because you're great. You're like a perfect type cast for like what I want this podcast to be going forward, as like someone that I feel inspired by, someone who's artistic, someone who's not into pop culture necessarily, but into all sorts of other cool cultural things that I want to talk about. So
Thank you.
thanks for coming back.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And maybe we'll release the video of the previous one someday
Yeah, we should.
with no audio. You can hardly hear it, but you'll see us. Our outfits were good. I felt really confident in my outfit that day.
Yeah.
And I don't today. So that's also probably participating in just like the different mood for me.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know why I feel foggy today. I think it's the June gloom. Honestly, it's like the lack of sunshine. It's been rough.
It's been a whole 10 days of no sunshine. So yeah, that makes sense.
It's changed us, but yeah, thank you so much.
Tell people where they can find you so they can look at your art, buy your art, support your art, commission
Yeah.
you, etc.
Yeah, it's my Instagram is just my name, so Tauni Western. I'm sure you can link me or tag me
Mhm.
in that. And my website is tauniwestern.com.
Good.
I do take commissions, so taking painting commissions, portraits, still lifes. No pet portraits. I'm sorry.
I know.
Love
I'm
them.
waiting for the day that you finally say, just for Barbados. I'll do him. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank you.
Love animals. Don't want to paint them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do collage commissions too, so like paper, landscape stuff,
Mm.
and also portraits. If you're in LA or coming to LA, or if I'm coming to Reno or Chicago, which hopefully will be soon, I would love to photograph you.
Yeah.
So let me know.
Yes.
Ring my line.
Ring the line. Let's hire this artist, baby. That's
Please.
right. Okay, Tauni, thank you so much. This has
Thanks,
been an
Hal.
incredible episode of Hot Cont. Thank you to everyone listening. And let's go season 2, baby. I just channeled my WWF.
Yeah.
Triple H.
Oh, God.
Let's go, baby.
Thanks, Hal.
Thank you.
Bye.